all heard stories of idol hopefuls working endlessly to break into the industry, but how about a group of girls who stumbled in completely by accident? Schoolmates Ito Ran, Tanaka Yoshiko, and Fujimura Miki made up the trio Candies, and in 5 short years they became one of the top 2 idol groups of the 1970s. Hi there, idol fans. I'm Martha, your trashy godmother. I'm an idol performer, director, and educator, and I create safe spaces on and offline to enjoy fandom and live as your most authentic self. On today's episode of Idol History, we're taking a look at one of the top 2 idol groups of the 1970s and Japan's vocal darlings, Candies. The 3 members of Candies were all high school classmates at the Tokyo Music Academy, and in 1972 they were selected to be the new mascot girls for NHK Television's Kayo Grand Show. As mascot girls, they performed various duties like carrying microphones, moving chairs, and other assistant tasks. The producer for the show, Sumio Matsuzaki, visited the Music Academy and recognized the 3 girls once they entered the classroom. After finding out that the instructors didn't have them set for a record debut, he exclaimed, "These girls are cute enough to eat," and thought that was a great idea for an idol group. So he gave them the name Candies and took the lead role in their production. Side note, if an adult man had told me in high school that I was cute enough to eat, I would have run in the other direction. But the 1970s were a different time, so back to it. Upon debut, Matsuzaki gave the girls shortened stage names written in katakana so that they would be easy to remember: Ran, Miki, and Yoshiko as Sue. In 1973, the trio began appearing on variety shows such as Yoji Dayo Zennin Shugo and became well-liked television personalities. Sue was positioned in the center and marketed as their main vocalist, since even though she was the youngest of the 3, she had the best technical vocal ability. For the first 2 years of their recording career, their music sold moderately well, but they struggled to gain mainstream traction, and they held their first concert in March of 1974 to an audience of just 800 people. Their manager, Moroka Yoshiaka, took notice at events that member Ran had more fans in attendance than Miki and Sue, and most of them happened to be male students. He came to the conclusion that this was because Ran gave off an aura of a sexy older sister type, and the production team decided to run with this concept for their next single. In 1975, Candies released Toshishita no Otoko no Ko, or Boys Younger Than Me, with Ran as the main vocal, and it became a runaway hit, breaking into the top 10 of the Oricon charts at number 9 and selling over 260,000 copies. Their next concert in October of that year had 10 times the attendance of the year prior at 8,600 people. At the year's end, they received their first invitation to the New Year's show Kohaku Utagassen and performed Toshishita no Otoko no Ko to rave reviews. The group's next big hit came in March of 1976 with Haru Ichiban, which peaked at number 3 on the Oricon charts and selling 360,000 copies, and it became known as the theme song for the group. They once again performed at the Kohaku Utagassen for the 2nd time in a row that year. Throughout the next year, Candies continued to release a string of hits like Yasashii Akuma, Shochu Omimai mo shiagemasu, and Wana, the only song to feature Miki as the main vocalist. Their fan base expanded to include multiple genders and age groups, with some female fans even imitating the girls' hair and makeup, making the Ranchan cut a very popular one. In July of 1977, during an outdoor concert, the members of Candies announced that they would be disbanding come September, apologizing tearfully and stating, "Futsu no onna no ko ni modoritai." We want to return to being normal girls, which caused a huge buzz, and that phrase went down in history. Fans were shocked that idols could announce their desire to return to normal life so plainly, and the love and support that the girls received after their show was so overwhelming that after discussing it with their management, they decided to extend their record contracts to April of the following year. In the last months of their career, Candies became more popular than ever, and their final single, Hohoemi Gaeshi, became their first and last #1 song on the Oricon charts, selling over 829,000 copies. Another side note here, one previously recorded song, Tsubasa, was released as a single after their disbandment, but it was released by management against the wishes of the members, so Hohoemi Gaeshi is still considered by fans as their last official single. On April 4th, 1978, Candies held their last concert, Final Carnival, at Korakuen Stadium to an audience of 55,000 people, and this marked the first ever stadium concert performance by a female group. 3 days later, the concert was televised nationwide with a rating of 32.4% in the Kanto region alone. At the end of the concert, the members were all smiles, shouting loudly to the fans, "Hontou ni watashi tachi wa shiawase deshita." We were really happy. After their disbandment, Ran, Miki, and Sue never officially reunited, though it was said that they would gather privately on a regular basis. In September of 2008, 30 years after their final concert, the members released a 20-disc time capsule album, including unreleased songs, behind-the-scenes accounts, letters, and other memorabilia for fans. In 2015, Candies Memories for Freedom, a complete recording of their last concert, Final Carnival, was released and debuted at #1 on the Oricon Music DVD charts. As for individual activities, Ran returned to the entertainment industry in 1980 as a film and stage actress, then finally returned as a solo singer in 2019, 41 years after ending her activities with Candies. Miki returned as a singer for a short time in 1983 to some success, but retired from the spotlight once again after her marriage to someone outside of the industry, and has stayed private ever since. Sue debuted as both an actress and a solo singer in the 80s and received many awards for her work, continuing until her death at age 55 in 2011. Trigger warning here in this next part for discussion of cancer and related issues. So if this is something that is triggering for you, please go ahead and skip to the timestamp listed here. Sue had been diagnosed with breast cancer in 1992, but continued to work while receiving treatment in secret since it was detected early. Neither the public or her acting co-stars had known about her diagnosis until her husband held a press conference shortly after her death. Ran and Miki stayed with Sue through her final hours in the hospital, with Sue noting how the two of them were like family. They both appeared at Sue's funeral, delivering the eulogy and playing a message recorded by Sue herself shortly before her passing, expressing gratitude for all of the support she received during her lifetime. The service ended with Miki saying that they would always be Candies forever. In recent years, Ran has continued to make variety show appearances and sings Candies songs frequently along with her originals, and it's obvious that her time as an idol was a part of her life that she truly cherished. The music of Candies still remains popular, with not only other J-pop groups covering their songs like Supergirls and Kyoto, but K-pop groups as well, like Orange Caramel and IZ*ONE. And every year when springtime returns, their signature song, Haru Ichiban, returns to karaoke rooms and TV screens all across the country. I've added links to Candies' performances in the description box below, along with links to their music on streaming services. If you'd like to hear my take on a Candies song, check out my short cover of Haru Ichiban right here. Let me know if you're a Candies fan and what your favorite song is in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next episode of Idol History. Bye-bye!